Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Fabulous. I'm excited. We got a guest coming up later in the program. Going to be visiting with Candace Cameron Bure.
I love her.
I do, too. Now, growing up, I used to see her on TV. It's going to be kind of weird for me to be talking to her on the phone.
I love her.
I'm going to try
She's
not
just
to
adorable.
nerd out too much on this. So. The reason we're going to be talking is she's visiting about family vacations. So
nice. We have not had one of those in forever.
I know, it's been a long time. And she's also going to be talking about Fuller House because that's season 3 coming out on Netflix, it sounds like. So very cool. Hey, I got a quote for you, too. You ready for this?
Sure thing.
Another one from Anonymous. Anonymous has been busy saying a lot of stuff. You should step forward and be counted. It says fall 7 times, stand up 8.
Yeah.
Anonymous. I like that. I agree with that. Fall down 9 times, stand up 10. And if you fall down 10 times, you're probably Heidi having too much wine. All right, coming up here, we've got a couple of special things going on today. We'll tell you all about it in a bit.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Wednesday, June the 7th. It is Daniel Boone Day today. So it must be Daniel Boone's birthday, maybe. It's also National Running Day today. It is National Tailor's Day, Tailor, not like our daughter Taylor. And then here's one for Heidi, VCR Day.
Ah, nice.
You going to celebrate VCR Day?
Sure.
I think maybe we may be the only family that still has a VCR.
Oh, I don't think we're the only family.
You don't think so?
No.
Yeah, we still have a VCR. We don't use it much, but we have one. Every once in a while, we'll have to crack out our tape and watch the one from when we got married. Mm-hmm. We make our kids watch our anniversary. On our anniversary, make them watch our tape all the time. So anyway, get out and celebrate all of those big days on this Wednesday, the 7th day of June.
John and Heidi.
I love watching TV shows and movies, but I hated seeing my monthly bill get higher and higher. All that money every month just to watch TV. Well, not anymore. We cut our cable. We were paying $185 a month for channels we didn't even watch. Now we pay for just the internet, and we save about $150 a month. And we still get to watch what we want, when we want, with no monthly fee. Learn how you can do this too at candacecameronbure.com. Watch the video there to learn how to watch movies and TV with no monthly fee. Do it today and save 50% at candacecameronbure.com. You know it's true because you heard it on the radio. After being kicked off a Southwest Airlines flight this last week, a passenger, acting erratically, tried to get back on board by running onto the aircraft.
Yikes.
You know that's not going to go well. Do you really think if they go, hey, I got on,
you're
you
going to get your butt kicked is what's going to happen.
Well, the Chicago-bound flight was scheduled to depart from Las Vegas when a man locked himself in the restroom and refused to come out. Eventually, he was tossed out, but another passenger says the next thing you know, he tried to fight his way back on.
Wow.
That's when the Southwest guys had to come and get him. So now more airline news. At least it wasn't United this time. And it was Southwest, which it wasn't anything the airlines did.
No, I mean,
They
if
had
the
an
guy's
unruly passenger.
being dangerous, he needs to be gone.
It doesn't surprise me that they were departing from Las Vegas because I have seen people who are getting on the airplane in Vegas who had way too much fun in Vegas, and they don't even know what they're doing. So I'm guessing that's what was going on here. And we could have probably saved this for your brain on drugs because most likely that's what was happening. Now we'll find out that it was somebody from here and and they weren't drunk, and it was, some completely different story. But anyway, all of that happened on an airplane from Vegas to Chicago. So there you go. Coming up here in a bit, we've got your brain on drugs. We've got your moment of dub. We've got your scoop of the day. And guest today, Candace Cameron Bure, going to be visiting about the next season here on Netflix. They have Fuller House. Did you watch Full House growing up?
I did.
And funny thing is, our daughter, who is now like 16, going to be 16 here in a couple weeks.
She even watches Full House.
She does. So I think that it was a good idea for them to do that reboot because it brought a lot of people back to the original one too. Because you're going, hey, you got to see the original. So anyway, going to be chatting with her. Again, try not to nerd out too much coming up later in the program. Get your brain on drugs on the way. This whole airline thing and the dude getting kicked off, that's true because you heard it on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. 3. That's how many miles an hour he was going. 3. In Thompson Township, Ohio, a man was driving drunk, ran down 2 law enforcement officers while driving a 10-ton bulldozer going 3 miles an hour. William Armstrong refused to stop his Caterpillar excavator as he rumbled toward two law enforcement vehicles. Officers eventually persuaded him to stop the vehicle and gave him breathalyzer test, and what a shock! He was drunk. 0.244%, more than 3 times the legal limit, by the way. So he was drunk as a skunk.
Reminds me of the
skunk.
end of A Fish Called Wanda.
Oh, yeah, the bulldozer.
Yeah.
It was like a steamroller there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a steamroller.
Yeah, and then didn't he get smushed into like some concrete or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
It's my favorite movie.
We should watch that tonight.
We should.
We haven't watched that in a long time. Anyway, this dude was going 3 miles an hour and he got pulled over for drunk driving. Kids, that's what happens when your brain is on drugs.
John and Heidi.
Now your moment of duh. Good customer service can be hard to find. And if you don't believe me, just ask Neil Soley, a London man who had a pipe that burst in his garden, and he decided, I better call the water company to let him know this is going on. So instead of getting a real person, he's talking on the thing to a voicemail service, and it says, hang on, someone will be with you in a moment. 4 hours and 40 minutes later,
my gosh.
a human finally picked up. By that time, 5,000 gallons of water filled his yard.
Oh my gosh.
And flooded his home. So I sure hope that their insurance will cover that.
It should.
4 hours and 40 minutes he had to
That
wait.
is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. I cannot even imagine. I think I would have probably called the city or something. I would have gotten
I have
somebody else
such
involved.
a problem with those automated
I'm not a fan.
answers.
I just had a call. This was the weirdest thing. I just had to make a call Monday. And it was weird because the lady said, yeah, hold on a moment. And she put me on hold, and it was silence. And it was silence for a long time. And I was like, did I get disconnected? Because I'm like, usually when you get put on hold, there's like
Right.
something annoying saying, hey, you're on hold. I'm going to annoy you even more. But it was nothing. And I was like, you know what? I didn't ever think I would say I wish that there was music on hold, but I thought she had hung up on me. About 10 minutes. Not that. It seemed like 10 minutes. It was like a minute and a half later. So somebody finally picked up. I was like, oh, I thought I'd been disconnected. So, are we still on the air? We should,
I was going to say, is there a point to this
I
one?
don't know. Probably not.
No.
We're going to move on. We have your scoop of the day on the way.
John and Heidi.
If you promised yourself you'd lose weight before you went to the beach, that's still within reach. Get some help from a cool pink drink. Try it free at pinkdrinkfree.com. This pink drink tastes great and can help you lose weight. 8 out of 10 Americans are overweight. If you're tired of being one of them, we'd love to help. People around the country are experiencing amazing results with this pink drink, and you can try it before you buy it at pinkdrinkfree.com. That's pinkdrinkfree.com.
John and Heidi.
Now your scoop of the day. American Airlines jet trying to take off in San Antonio veered off the runway and got stuck in the mud. How would you like that? A little bit late. My airplane got stuck in the mud. I'm not exactly sure how that happens, but I guess it does.
I guess
Brushfire-
I'd rather that. I mean, if the pilot was so careless that he was veering off the runway, it's probably better to have an accident on the ground than up in the air, don't you think?
I was involved in a plane crash. Really? And you lived? Yeah, we just drove off the runway into the mud. A brush fire on the side of a Phoenix freeway didn't burn long, and there was an unlikely hero that came to the rescue. Jared Aton is a carpet cleaner who was on his way home from a job when he spotted a fire burning on the side of the road. He thought, man, I wish I could help or do something. Then he realized, hey, I'm driving a vehicle with a giant tank of water. He pulled over and he got to work using what was left of his water for cleaning carpets. By the time the fire crews arrived, the flames were out.
Oh, how cool is that?
Yeah, in Phoenix, on the freeway there, they have some little brush fires that'll start from time to time, usually from people like throwing things from their vehicles,
Yeah.
sadly. So don't do that. But how cool is that? Hats off to Jared for thinking quick. New Westminster Animal Shelter in New Westminster, British Columbia, Canada, received a generous donation from the estate of a teacher and animal lover. And what's strange is the late Dale Moots never even visited the shelter once. But the New Westminster Animal Shelter was grateful for his donation, Even though he had never visited once, he gave them $275,000.
How do they know he never visited? He
'Cause
might
they-
have visited and just not told anybody who he was.
Well, that could be. Maybe he popped in. He's like, oh, it's a neat place. I'm going to give you a bunch of money someday. I don't know. Have no clue. A woman in Germany who hid her life savings in a vacuum cleaner dust bag because she didn't trust banks nearly lost it all when her cleaning woman threw the bag out.
Ooh.
The woman managed to get her $113,000
Oh.
back when she called the local trash collection service, which sent a team to sift through tons of garbage to find it.
Wow, that was nice of
That
them.
was absolutely nice of them. That's the second time now. The last one, there was a guy going on vacation, and he put all the
put it
money
in
in
the
the
garbage
garbage
can.
and
Yeah.
didn't tell anybody. And then when they got home, he didn't tell his wife, and she took the garbage out, and they
Yeah.
almost lost all of their money because it was being hauled. She's like, "Oh, the garbage man's here. Let's get this to the curb."
Yeah.
Don't do that. If you're going to hide it somewhere, put it somewhere that's not going to get disposed of. I mean, just think it through a little bit. Texas Theater is getting some flack for having a woman-only showing of Wonder Woman. They had a woman-only showing, and they said no men allowed in the theater. This is for ladies only for Wonder Woman. I don't think that's a bad thing. I'm like, that's cool. I went to a woman-only showing of The Notebook. It was just me. And
It wasn't mandatory
300
that
women.
it was women only. It's
No,
just
we went to a matinee. My wife and a friend of hers and I went with, for whatever reason. I was crying louder than any of the women, though.
and you are the one who has made me watch that. I don't even know how many times since, and
But
I didn't like it.
Here's the thing. Honestly, my grandmother had Alzheimer's, and now I've got another grandmother with Alzheimer's. It kind of struck a chord with me. Anyway,
Every time it's on, let's watch The Notebook.
No, I don't always watch it, but I usually wait till you go to sleep, and I'm like, I'm going to go watch that. Just kidding.
I've always got a box of Kleenex and
I
a
don't
pint
really
of
do
ice
that.
cream.
But this theater, they did a female-only, a women-only version of Wonder Woman, and it sold out, so they did really well. And here's the thing that's interesting. Over the weekend, $100.5 million across North America, $223 million globally. It was the number one in America and the number one in the world this last weekend. So apparently Wonder Woman has struck a chord with others. You going to go see it?
No.
I didn't think you would. Hey, do you like hot dogs? Estimates are, during the summer, 818 hot dogs are eaten every second. So right now, 818 hot dogs. Right now, 818
I only
hot
like the
dogs.
all beef ones if I'm going to eat one. I know. Otherwise,
They're
I
all
don't
good.
care for them.
I like hot dogs. And that's maybe I like hot dogs too much. Coming up, we've got Candace Cameron Bure on the way.
John and Heidi.
How long's it been since you've been on vacation?
Way too long.
Well, we're going to Punta Cana this November for a cool event called 80s in the Sand.
I'm so looking forward to just being able to relax during the day. All day, every day for 7 full days. And, as a bonus, get to hear some awesome music at night.
You can also meet some 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and many more.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
That website again is 80sinthesand.com.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. It is summer vacation. A lot of folks trying to figure out what they're going to do, take the family somewhere and do something fun. We got somebody really cool to chat with about this right now. For those of you who had a chance to watch Full House growing up like I did, DJ Tanner from Full House, well, her real name is Candace Cameron Bure. She's on the line with us right now. Candace, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great.
Well, it's just kind of fun for me to visit with you because as a young man, I used to watch you on TV, and it was just really fun to kind of watch you grow up. How surreal is that to grow up on television like that?
Oh, well, I think when you're in the middle of it, and that's just what you do, it was normal for me. So I don't know if it was as surreal for me as you would think, but obviously I've enjoyed it so much. So it's been my career for many years, and I love what I do.
Well, that's really cool. And we're super excited to see you guys come back with Fuller House. That was really neat on Netflix. And we're going to chat with you today about family vacations because are you on one right now? Because it says here that I'm visiting with you from one of the Kalahari Resorts. Is that correct?
I am. I'm at the Kalahari Resort in Sandusky, Ohio right now. And I'm not quite on my own family vacation just yet, but this will be a pretty cool place to bring my family. I got to tell you, it's a big indoor water park, indoor and outdoor. And they have everything for the whole family, all kinds of water slides. The property that I'm on right now has 5 brand new water slides. And, spa for mom and dad. It pretty much caters to everyone. So
that's really cool. So now when people are planning a vacation in the summertime, this is really, you're making memories. This is a time for you to make memories and do something fun. And it kind of sounds like the place you are there in Sandusky, Ohio, you could probably make some fun memories there, couldn't you?
You could, absolutely. All of us have busy schedules. I know I sure do, between the shows that I'm doing, the Hallmark movies that I make, and traveling from coast to coast. So during the summertime, I make sure that I have a few weeks dedicated to my family, and we always want to go on a trip and make those special memories. And a water park resort like this is I know a place that my kids will have a blast at, and that's really what it's all about. I already have teenagers, so I only have a few years left with them, so I want to make as many memories as possible.
So when you're trying to choose the right destination for your family, what are some of the things, the factors that you think about while you're working on the big plans like that?
Well, for me, it's really making sure that we choose a place that everyone's going to be happy at, because especially if you have young kids or teenagers, maybe even grandparents that you're going with, you want a destination that's going to cater to everyone, so everyone has something to do. For me, I kind of want to lay around and do nothing because I work so hard. So being in the sun, laying out at the pool, going on a lazy river raft, being at the spa, that's fun for mom. But I know my teenage boys, they want to be doing some kind of activity 24 hours a day. So going on the water slides and being able to run around and get all that energy out is fun for them. So it's just finding a resort that caters to everyone's needs, that everyone will have fun at.
Again, visiting right now with Candace Cameron Bure, and she is a young lady that you probably had a chance to watch grow up when she was on the TV program Full House, part of the Tanner family, and we're talking about family vacations today. Now, it's really cool that you've got the program Fuller House. Were you excited when that project came your way and when they started talking about doing that? Was that something that you were really excited about?
Oh, extremely. Yeah, it was quite a work in progress for several years that we were all trying to get off the ground. So we were thrilled when Netflix had picked us up. And I think I think we've kind of started the whole trend again of all these old shows coming back, because Fuller House has been very well received and been successful. So I know there's so many shows from the 90s that are coming back again. But we have our season 3 premiere on Netflix coming out this fall.
That's really cool. And here's the thing that I think is really neat, because the reboot, I think is what they call that, the Fuller House. The thing that also did is kind of sparked some interest in the original program as well. And I have a daughter that's 16. She turned 16 this month. She loves Full House. She wasn't even alive when it came out the first time, but, she starts watching it, and the things that you guys did back in the 90s, it's still very relevant today, and it's just timeless.
It is. It's crazy to think, but our show has never been off the air in 30 years. It still runs in syndication in several different markets and in many, many countries all over the world. So it's a testament to family programming, and we are thrilled that kids all over the world have continued to watch Full House and now watching Fuller House, and maybe vice versa, one introduced them to the other. But I'm most grateful because all of your viewership allows me to do what I love doing, and that's acting and family programming.
That is really cool. And there's several Hallmark movies that you're a part of. Do you have a big project right now in the works there?
Yes, I have my Hallmark movie series called the Aurora Tea Garden Mysteries. That's on the Hallmark Movies and Mysteries channel, and you can catch those. They're constantly running. I just had a new one premiere a few weeks ago, but they're always on. And then I have several movies on the Hallmark channel, and of course I'll have a new Christmas movie out this year as well. And you can always find my face on either of those two channels.
Well, it's always fun when you flip to that channel and you see Candace Cameron Bure. It's like, even though we've never met, this is the first time I've ever talked to you. I feel like I've known you for my whole lifetime because I watched you grow up. So it's really neat to put on a program and see you there. It's just, it's kind of like seeing an old friend.
Oh, well, thank you.
Thank you so much for chatting with us. Now, if people that are listening are saying, I want to take my family on a vacation to this place that she's talking about, where she happens to be right now, Kalahari Resorts and Conventions. You're in Sandusky, Ohio. Where can they go to find more information on this place?
Yeah, go online, and their website is kalahariresorts.com. And you can find all the information on all 3 of their locations.
Very nice. KalahariResorts.com. And I'm going to put a link to that on our social media as well to make it really simple and really easy. And Candace, thank you again for taking the time to chat with us today.
You're so welcome. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Again, Candace Cameron Bure, and she's right now broadcasting from Sandusky, Ohio at the Kalahari Resorts and Conventions. And we're going to have a link to that if you'd like to find some more information and go and check out all the water slides and all the fun stuff that's going to be happening there. And it is time to start planning that summer vacation. So if you haven't already thought of where you're going to go or what you're going to do, that could be a really cool option. And we'll have all the details for you at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Would you like custom t-shirts for an event or sports team? We understand that usually the budget's not unlimited. We have full-color custom printed t-shirts for just $7 each. That's one of the best prices you'll find anywhere. No minimum orders, so you can print just one or print 1,000. The price is just $7 per shirt with a minimal setup fee per design. Make the memories of your next event last forever or help your team look amazing with a little help from CustomShirtInc.com. That's CustomShirtInc.com.
John and Heidi.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In the movie The Wizard of Oz, Dorothy's last name is, do you know?
I have no clue.
Dorothy Gale. Dorothy Gale. It was written on the mailbox. That's how you know.
Oh.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Popcorn has been served in movie theaters since 1912. You know where they used to serve it before that?
Where?
Outside of movie theaters. They actually had vendors out in front, and the movie theaters were going, wait a minute.
We should capitalize on this.
Yeah, they said, you guys are making more money than we are, so get out of here. We're going to serve our own popcorn. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Did you know the word tip actually means to ensure promptness?
Yes.
And originally,
I thought it stood for to ensure proper service. Tips.
I don't know. Either way, it was originally one of those things, and you originally gave it before the meal.
Right.
So somebody come in, you're like, hey, I'd like to have a seat, and you'd hand them the money right then and there.
Right.
Why don't we do that anymore? I think that's the way we should do it. And then maybe you would get better service.
I think, well,
honestly,
maybe. Either that or they just take your money and stiff
seat you in somebody else's section.
Yeah.
And run out the back door. Honestly, we've had very good service lately. And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Researchers in Italy say heavy drinking may lead to liver disease. Really? The words just get over to Italy?
Is that new?
Didn't know you didn't know that. Couple of fun facts and that very obvious one right there. Brought to you by pinkdrinkfree.com. Not just another diet, it's a way of life. pinkdrinkfree.com.
John and Heidi.
If you promised yourself you'd lose weight before you went to the beach, that's still within reach. Get some help from a cool pink drink. Try it free at pinkdrinkfree.com. This pink drink tastes great and can help you lose weight. 8 out of 10 Americans are overweight. If you're tired of being one of them, we'd love to help. People around the country are experiencing amazing results with this pink drink, and you can try it before you buy it at pinkdrinkfree.com. That's pinkdrinkfree.com.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. 7% of men only wash their hair every 2 weeks or less. You know what? Honestly, for me, I wash my hair every day, but I only use shampoo about that often. Maybe a little more often than that. But I don't use shampoo every day. And when I do, I feel like I'm wasting shampoo. My hair is like a half a centimeter long.
I shampoo my hair every other day.
Do you? See, I just... so it says here... this is from our friends at Dollar Shave Club. They've got all kinds of interesting content on their site. 7% of men only wash their hair every 2 weeks or less. It says here they debunked the idea that washing your hair every day was bad for it. So apparently there's some people who thought you can't do that. They had experts that delved into that. 25 years of out-of-date information that was out there before. On the regular end of the scale, 60% of guys said they wash their hair every day. 15% say they wash their hair 5 to 6 times a week. 13% say they wash their hair 3 to 4 times a week, and 6% say they wash their hair once or twice a week. For women, the figures were more even. It says 29% said they gave their hair a daily wash. 15% did it 5 to 6 times a week, so that means almost every day. 37% said, the highest percentage, by the way, said that women wash their hair 3 to 4 times a week, and 18% said they did it once or twice. So there you go. If you wash your hair more often or less often, I wonder if that means something about you. You think there's some interesting meaning behind that?
I don't know, but I know that washing it too much, at least for my hair, it stripped my hair. When I washed it too much, because you're stripping it of all the natural oils. Yeah. And so then it gets really dry and brittle.
Well, there you go. So if you'd like to read all that, I've got a link to it on our Facebook page, facebook.com/John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
I love watching TV shows and movies, but I hated seeing my monthly bill get higher and higher. All that money every month just to watch TV. Well, not anymore. We cut our cable. We were paying $185 a month for channels we didn't even watch. Now we pay for just the internet, and we save about $150 a month. And we still get to watch what we want, when we want, with no monthly fee. Learn how you can do this too at channelsurfertv.com. Watch the video there to learn how to watch movies and TV with no monthly fee. Do it today and save 50% at channelsurfertv.com.
John and Heidi.
Turns out there's a big disconnect between what women think men want for Father's Day and what men really say they want for Father's Day. So what do you think women think that men want for Father's Day? What do you think women think? Yeah. What do you think men, you know what I mean?
I think men want, I think a lot of women think that they want like football stuff and golf stuff and, things like that.
How do you think like a woman so well?
But I think men just probably want a good home-cooked meal and spend time with the family and maybe some booze.
Okay, here. Now that Heidi has told you what she thinks, let me tell you the truth. A survey says 60% of women think their man would love a ticket to a sporting event. Didn't you say football?
I said football.
36% of men pick that as their top choice, so not quite as many as the women. Women think their man would like to have a power tool. Maybe not. So what do men really want? A smartphone or a tablet was number 1 on the list. Well, I already have that, so I don't want that. Followed by a home-cooked meal. Heidi, you got that one too. The majority of men ranked those two as their top choices, by the way. So for me, home-cooked meal. Home-cooked smartphone is what I want. No, I don't.
We have home-cooked meals all the time.
I know, so I'll have one of those. I'm very well fed. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. Many Americans refuse to believe their bathroom scale, thinking that they are really thinner, and they actually have a Harris Interactive Health Day survey asking participants to provide their height and their weight, and pollsters calculated their BMI, that's their body mass index, a measurement used to indicate obesity. I'm not a fan of that. I don't know if those things are accurate.
I think they're probably pretty accurate.
It's way off. Participating were asked which weight category they thought they fell into. According to Health Day, 30% who were actually in the overweight category thought their weight was normal. 70% who were obese thought they were just overweight. 39% of the morbidly obese classified themselves as merely being overweight. Experts are saying obese may soon become the new norm. By the way, I'm obese, but I think I'm just a little overweight. I'm what do you call it? I'm husky. That's what it is. I'm so husky I can barely breathe when I walk up a flight of steps. A little extra husky.
John and Heidi.
How long's it been since you've been on vacation?
Way too long.
Well, we're going to Punta Cana this November for a cool event called 80s in the Sand.
I'm so looking forward to just being able to relax during the day. All day, every day for 7 full days. And, as a bonus, get to hear some awesome music at night.
You can also meet some 80s icons like Anthony Michael Hall, Andrew McCarthy, and many more.
Get all the details at 80sinthesand.com.
Use promo code RADIO to get a $200 immediate refund per person.
That website again is 80sinthesand.com.
It may surprise you that the word nice does not have a nice background. Do you ever think about where words come from?
Not really.
Am I the only one that does that?
Probably.
I hear words all the time and I think, why do we call it that? I mean, why would we call like a doorknob? Why do we call it a knob? That's just a weird word. Think about the word knob. K-N-O-B, knob. That is just a bizarre word. I don't know why we call it
Is this going somewhere?
Yeah, I'll get back to this. We were talking about the word nice. I think about these things. So why do we use the word nice? Well, here it says, in fact, the word nice comes from the Latin word nisus, N-E-S-C-I-U-S, which I probably pronounced wrong because I don't speak no Latin. I barely speak English. It means ignorant, by the way. So in the beginning, the word nice meant you were ignorant.
Huh.
So, he's so nice. He doesn't know what the heck he's talking about. In addition to foolish and stupid, the word nice, by the way, in the English spoken language in the Middle Ages also meant wanton, W-A-N-T-O-N. What does that mean?
I have no idea.
By 15th century, the word nice meant coy. 100 years later, it meant dainty. It wasn't until the 18th century that finally the word nice meant that you were agreeable. You were a decent,
kind,
agreeable, nice person. So I just think it's interesting when I'll have to see if I can travel back in time and find out what the word knob means. Should we do that every day at this time? Break down a word?
No.
Are you interested in this at all?
Not really.
Are you filing your taxes over there right now? What are you doing? Heidi checked out about a minute and 36 seconds ago, which coincidentally is when we started talking. So anyway, I thought it was interesting. The word nice, and you'll have to let me know if you want to know about other words. And if you do, I'll break those down. And if you don't, I'll probably forget. So we do have some good news coming your way. That's really nice. And it's on the way on the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. I always try to wrap things up around here with some good news, Heidi. I think this is good news. This is just a really neat story. Oz Harvest Market. Have we ever talked about these guys before?
I don't think so.
They're in Australia, and it's Australia's first rescued food supermarket, making food that would otherwise go into the landfill or be wasted in some way. It's available to everyone, especially those who need it most. And I've got a little video.
Were you supposed to do an interview with? Are these the people you're supposed to interview?
No, not at all. This is in Australia. No, that we were just talking about, because I had a guy that scheduled an interview with me.
Yeah, that never happened.
And then he was following up to find out, hey, when is that interview going to be on? I was like, we never did that interview, did we? But it was about food going into the landfill. But that was a completely different thing. That one's in America, and they were trying to do something. So I'll see if I can line that up. So anyway, it says, like no supermarket you've known before. The thing that's really interesting about this is they've got all the food that was like the grocery stores were going to throw it away because it was beyond the date. So they can't sell it anymore. So there are no price tags, no sale signs.
Go in and just take what you want.
Seriously. And then they've got like a little container. If you've got some money that you'd like to contribute to pay for the lights, to pay for the rent of this space, if you can give, you can stick some money in the little box. And they said, we do accept hugs, which I thought is kind of fun.
I think that's awesome.
I think it's cool. They say hugs have no expiration date. But every piece of food is rescued from restaurants and cafeterias and caterers and other supermarkets. And otherwise, it would be thrown away. They would be paying to dispose of it. 60 million meals so far, Heidi.
I would shop there.
I think it's really cool. It's Oz Harvest is what it's called. OZHARVEST. And it's a thing that they're doing in Australia.
That's very cool.
I don't know if this will catch on here or if something like that would ever happen. But it's really neat that it's being used rather than being disposed of.
Agreed.
But I also understand where there's this fine line. You're going, okay, well, what happens now if somebody gets sick from that stuff? Because it was expired after all. So that's where you got to be really careful. I don't know if this would work here because we have way too many lawyers.
Yeah.
All right. If you'd like to read the story or actually just watch the video, it's really cool. Facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great Wednesday. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for a bonus break on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening to the John and Heidi Show. We got a special guest joining us right now. We have Jeffelder, and he's with a company called Sync3, and we're going to be talking about an event that he's got coming up later in the year, and also some just kind of visit about some of the cool things that he's up to. But first of all, let's say hello to Mr. Elder. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great.
You've got kind of an interesting line of work that you're in here. You work with people on marketing, but it's a little different kind of marketing than I do because, we do like advertising marketing kind of stuff, but the kind of marketing you do is like online marketing, right?
Yeah, correct. What we do is basically we want to attract the right prospects to our client's website, And the way that we do that is by creating highly relevant content that's going to be very helpful in educating our clients' prospects and really helping them figure out, okay, what is my problem? Because a lot of times we may know we have a problem, but we just may not know how to put our finger on it, right?
Yeah.
And so what we want to do is make sure that we're helping them put their finger on it and recognize, okay, this is the actual problem that we have. And what we found is that the companies that are actually doing that, the companies that are creating that type of content, are the companies that are really doing well. Because if you think about it, today, where's the first place we go whenever we have a problem that we're trying to solve?
Yeah, we pull out our phone that's now connected to the internet, and we punch a couple of buttons, and we try to solve that problem, don't we?
Exactly. There's over 12 billion searches done on Google each month, right? So it just shows that, we're going to the internet now to solve problems. And so what we try to do, like I said, is we try to educate these prospects as to what their problem is. And then once we can help identify their problem, then we come in and say, okay, here's the solution that we have that's going to help solve that problem. And it's very consultative as well. So we have, in addition to marketing that's different, we have a very different sales approach as well. And it's very consultative, it's very helpful. And I really have a 3-step process for that. Listen, diagnose, prescribe.
Nice.
Right? So as companies, we have to learn how to listen. I don't think we do a very good job listening, and especially salespeople, because look, they're trying to close that deal, right? Well, we have to stop doing that because people are just tired of those types of sales calls. And so they feel like they're not being listened to. Now, what happens when we're not listened to? Well, it's going to be hard to really diagnose what the problem really is, right? And if we misdiagnose something, guess what? We're going to misprescribe something, and that prospect is going to end up buying something that they don't really need in the first place. And that just causes a lot of problems down the line, right? Because they end up getting upset because they were treated more like a dollar sign than a human being. And it just leaves a bad taste in their mouth. And that's why salespeople just have the stigma now of just, they just want to sell us something. Doesn't matter if we really need it or not. And so we really try to change that and turn that around. You should care a lot about your prospects.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's why, that's how we do things a little bit different here.
Again, visiting right now with the founder of Sync3.com, and his name is Jeff Elder. Now, Mr. Elder, you have an event coming up in November, and the event that you're going to be doing in November, is it for like businesses, or is it for people that are doing marketing, or who's this typically geared towards?
Yeah, so the conference is geared towards marketers, salespeople, and C-level executives, whether it's a director of marketing or a director of sales, or even a business owner. And so that's really who the conference is intended for.
Very nice. And now, where is this conference going to be held?
So it's going to be held here in Dublin, Ohio, which is where my company is located, at the OCLC, which is a conference center here in Dublin.
Very cool. And is there a fee to be a part of this? I'm assuming there's got to be some sort of fee.
Yeah, so we have early bird pricing going on through July. So I've been I was thinking about that, and I really want as many people to attend. So I've really extended the early bird out as far as I could. And so if you hop on the site today, you can actually grab your ticket for $275, and it's a full day conference. We'll have breakfast and we will have lunch served there. We have a great lineup of speakers that will touch on the topics of leadership, marketing, sales, and technology. And the theme of the conference is called the human element. And really my passion is to make marketing and sales more human, one company at a time. Because when your company becomes more human and you have a deeper understanding of your prospects and how they want to be marketed and sold to, you will make deeper connections, and that will obviously have an impact on your bottom line. So we're going to spend the entire day talking about what that looks like and some very practical things that you could implement right away into your business to really make sure that you're maximizing your impact and that you're making deeper connections with your prospects.
That's awesome. Now, again, the website is sync3.com, syncthree.com. Do I find that right on this website? Do I find the event for November? I'm trying to see where I find that.
No, so they'll sync3conference.com is where you can go. You will be able to buy your tickets there.
Again, that's sync3conference.com. syncthree conference.com. Well, we're going to make sure we put all of this in our social media as well to make it really easy for people to find. Thank you for doing what you're doing. I think it's important. There are a lot of people that waste money on marketing because they, like you were saying, people don't listen, so then they misdiagnose and they misprescribe and they're doing things that don't work. Something I have said for decades now, advertising costs money, but effective advertising makes money. And my goal in what I do has always been to make it effective, because I don't want somebody, whether it's $1 or $1,000 or $100,000, I don't want them spending that if it's not going to work. I don't think it's a good idea, because if they're spending money and it's not coming back to them, then they'll say, well, we tried radio and it didn't work. Or they'll say, well, we tried that whole internet marketing thing and it didn't work. And sadly, it works. It just didn't work for you because who you were working with didn't listen and they didn't pay attention to your needs and they didn't help you. So, I'm really glad you're doing what you're doing. It sounds like it's going to be a fascinating event. What are the dates? What is the date in November you're going to be doing this once again?
Yeah, so the date will be November 1st. So it's a Wednesday. And the conference starts at 9 o'clock and it goes until 5. So it's a good, solid day of a lot of speakers and networking and just having a great time together. So I'm really looking forward to the conference, and I think if you show up, you really are going to get a lot of benefit out of it.
Thank you so much, Jeff. It was really nice to visit with you. We're going to send folks to that website so they can get signed up and be a part of this fun event coming up in Dublin, Ohio on November the 1st. And again, the website, folks, if you'd like to go to it, sync3conference.com. That's syncthree, then the word conference.com.